Eyes of Beauty, Episode 2. Soft Life has times and conditions. Lagos mornings still came early, but by now, Zara, Sade, and Morenike were awake to more than sunlight. They were awake to expectation, to pressure, to the subtle rules Lagos whispered in your ear without speaking. Zara woke up to her phone buzzing, hundreds of notifications, messages she couldn't ignore. Some were sweet, some were demanding, some were sharp, enough to cut her calm into pieces. Her breakfast was silent, a smoothie, a glance at the skyline, a deep breath. Lagos never stopped moving, and she had to keep up or be crushed by it. She thought about yesterday's brunch, the laugh, the filters, the pictures, the feeling of power, the subtle fear under the smiles. Power, fear, they were twins in Lagos. Sade walked in her calm bedroom on the mainland. A soft sunlight filtered through the curtains. She dressed slowly, prepared her hair, and tried to smile at the thought of a man. But there was unease in her chest. The man she loved so faithfully was married. He promised the world. He delivered fragments, and fragments don't satisfy. Fragments are dangerous. Fragments make you wait while someone else builds a future. Sade believed patience was her shield. She didn't see that Lagos was testing the strength of her patience, not the depth of her loyalty. Morenike had no routine. She moved like water through streets, parties, clubs, malls. She knew every whisper, every danger, every opportunity. And yet, Lagos has a way of reminding even the smartest babe that control is never complete. One night at a rooftop bar in Victoria Island, she laughed at a man who bragged about his connections. She thought she could manipulate him like the city itself. She was wrong. Zara's soft life looked perfect from the outside. Private brunches in Banana Island, designer's bag that cost more than a car, trips with men who called themselves friends, but whose loyalty had an expiring date. On Instagram, she was untouchable. On WhatsApp, she was desired. Offline, she was calculating survival. Every gift came with rules. Every compliment had conditions. Every I care about you was an investment, not love. She didn't scream about it. She didn't write notes. She just played along. Because in Lagos, survival is silent. Sade's soft life was quieter, subtler. Her man promised separation. Promises stretched like thin silk over a bottomless pit. Every word sounded sincere. Every delay felt reasonable. And Sade waited, not because she had no choice, but because hope can be more dangerous than fear. Morenike's soft life was raw. She didn't wait. She didn't plead. She did not fear. She negotiated life in fast lines. High-end clubs, high-risk decisions, high stakes. She thought she had control, but the city does not hand over victories that easily. Zara noticed subtle changes. A message arrived late. A tune shifted in a phone call. The morning slowed silently. She laughed to herself. You are imagining it, she whispered. But Lagos does not lie. It merely waits. Sade overheard a conversation she shouldn't have. Her man spoke gently, but his tone was different. It was no longer reassurance, it was negotiation. Her heart sank. Hope can be a silent killer. Morenike walked into a party she shouldn't have. She trusted someone she barely knew, and something in the back of her head whispered, "This is going to cost you." Lagos nights are deceptive. By day, the city smells, honks and glows. By night, it whispered secrets to those who are paying attention. Zara walked into a club in Victoria Island, dressed in velvet and gold, heels that echoes over polished floors. Men turned, camera flashed, drinks poured. She was the center of attention. The soft life she craved was in motion, but behind the smile, a subtle tension built. One man, a sponsor, leaned closer than necessary. He spoke softly, so softly, and Zara felt the first sprinkle of unease. The money and gifts had rules, and tonight the rule book was being tested. Sade sat quietly at home, scrolling her phone. Her man had promised a trip, a surprise visit. Instead, she saw pictures of him smiling with another woman in a restaurant, town down. The anger doubled slowly, but so did the heartbreak. Hope had cost her months, and now she realized it could cost her years. Her patience, her trust, her loyalty all exploded in the softest possible way. Lagos doesn't make noise when it steals your peace. It just allows you to pay attention too late. Morenike walked along Lekki's boardwalk that same night. The sea breeze should have calmed her, but it did not. She met a group of men she trusted. They laughed, toasted, and made her feel untouchable. But one of them had eyes that measured, not admired. One of them saw an opportunity. One of them planned. By the time the night ended, she had lost something. Not money, not reputation, but control. And in Lagos, losing control feels heavier than losing anything else. For Zara, the first sign came a late night text. "Why didn't you answer earlier? I thought I could trust you." She froze. It was subtle, but she knew the expectation was there. The judgment, silence, the leash, the tightening. Sade warning came silently through observation. The way her man laughed, the way he touched the other woman's hand in pictures, the subtle shift in tone when they spoke. It was all a message she did not want to decode but had to. Morenike warning came through action, not words. She realized too late that one wrong decision at a party could destroy weeks of careful planning. She had always thought she was untouchable. Lagos disagreed. Sarah's world began to shrink under invisible rules. The freedom she believed she had was only skin deep. Every smile, every outfit, every post had a price tag attached. And tonight, the first installment had come due. Sade's patience was cracking. Every promise, every excuse, every delay had slowly eaten away at her self-respect. She began to see that love, when delayed indefinitely, is just another form of manipulation. Morenike's confidence, so sharp in daylight, dulled at night. She realized the streets she knew so well had corners she didn't map, and those corners could be dangerous. The city itself seems alive, the hum of generators, the soft roar of traffic, the flashing lights of cars, and advertisements all remind us that nothing comes free. Beauty opens doors, yes, but it does not protect you. Money pays attention, but not loyalty. Charm attracts, but it can mislead. And tonight, each babe learned that lesson differently. The soft life she wanted demanded more than she expected. Warning: waiting for love that is borrowed from another man's life is dangerous. Speed without caution can be fatal. To be continued. See you in my next video. Don't forget,